They say don't judge a book by its cover, but is that the case for albums? What do you feel when you see this? Or this? Or this? I can guarantee that one of these, if not all of these albums, invoked some kind of emotion in you. Whether it's a memory in 2016 of you sitting in the bathroom crying and singing along to a song, or shaking your booty to one of these songs. I'm a firm believer that album art contributes to the listening experience. When I listen to the albums, I not only have the lyrics, but also the album art up. I like trying to understand why the art was chosen for the album, the interpretation behind it, why it was phrased that way, why they used this picture out of all the other pictures. I don't know if it's just me, but that actually enhances my listening experience for an album. It brings me into the mind of an artist and shows a story and an intentionality with it. It's like one of those times when you're in a field trip and you go to a museum and you come back and there are questions about said museum, about what you learned and how you felt and what the artist was feeling. At first I didn't like those things, but now I do them for fun. Is that just me getting old? I don't know. I recently started collecting vinyls, and some, if not most of those, were made primarily on the album art. If I liked the album art, I thought that, okay, this would be worth listening to. I like the way this looks, so I guess I'm gonna try it. And you know what? Those records were actually great. I've always liked the idea of intricate, specific details in albums, which already prelude you to what you're about to listen to, and once you're done, you look back at the album art and you notice the subtle details you didn't before because you've listened to the songs that add to the art that you're seeing. It sometimes reaffirms what you thought of before you listen to the album or change your perspective entirely. In many ways, an album is you. As artists, all the music that we work on and package into one shot that captures the entire emotion of an album, pain, the feeling, the happiness of an entire storyline, of an entire chapter in our lives. Now, granted, despite me being into music and in the industry for a while, I only started listening to albums like a couple of years ago, like from start to finish, and I don't know why I never did. I just listened to singles, but now I am. Don't put down your pitchforks, because I'm already doing it. I've atoned. In those times that I'm listening to these albums, I do my best to analyze it, listen to it over and over again, and try to catch little details that I didn't. And I noticed a few things that make the album art as good as it is. Color is a big part of the listening experience. I really think that every song has a color associated with it when you listen to it. In SZA's SOS, blue is covering the entire album. It's a gradient going from light to dark and is in constant motion. These waves are not calm. And it shows the tumultuous emotion that you'll be feeling throughout the album. Blue is what we feel when we listen to many of the songs of this album. It's sad, it's heartbreaking, but it's also calming. And even then, different shades can have different meanings. For example, this type of orange is nostalgia, warmth, comfort, while this type of orange is very loud and overwhelming, at least to me. I noticed in 2022, I listened to two albums with two very similar color schemes, which in turn inspired my own color scheme for my own EP. Happier Than Ever is one of my favorite projects of Billie Eilish. It's about growing and moving on, maturing and realizing different facets of yourself while transitioning from an adolescent into an adult and facing the troubles and trials and tribulations of life. There's a maturity, an understanding of oneself. It's a stark difference from her first album, which is all black and grays. This one is beige and a bit of yellow, a bit of tinge of orange. It shows a different side of Billie that we've not seen up until then. In a similar light, Emails I Can't Send by Sabrina Carpenter uses the same type of color schemes. Granted, there's some colors that pop out on hers, but in the same way of Billie's, it's also about growing up, dealing with complex emotions, learning about oneself, and finding yourself as an adult. And this is also Sabrina's album that showed a different side to her from her previous records, a different maturity, just like in Billie's. Inversely, a lack of color can do so much for a cover. If we take a look at Snow Allegra's album, there's no color, it's black and white. She's desperate not to feel any color, desperate not to feel these feelings again. There's a numbing quality that it's easier to not feel than to think about all these different emotions that color her world. And sometimes the color of an album is just so intriguing you can't help but look. I discovered this album purely based on the colors. Aphrodite is one of the most unexpected records that I ever listened to that year it came came out, because at that time my music taste was starkly different. But I was drawn to this cover because it was pink, it was loud, it was vibrant. I had no idea what genre this was, but I could tell by the cover that I was gonna have a good time. It was gonna be a fun, maybe poppy, maybe feel good, but I just clicked it. The pink next to the peachy orange is such a good contrast of color that it can't help but make your eyes wander over to it in a catalog. There's also a bit of softness and warmth in the shades of colors chosen. If you listen to this album, EP, the first track sounds exactly like what the art looks like. If I'm wrong, let me know, but that's exactly what I felt when I listened to this project. The subject of the album is something to look for as well. It could be a face, but that face could be wearing really interesting makeup or have really cool hair or be a different color, or they could be striking a pose wearing clothes that are really wacky dacky. It could also be the lack of a face. Just the name of the artist or the logo of a band catches your eye too. In Something to Give Each Other by Troye Sivan, Troy is in between the legs of a man. And if you look at his face, it's pure bliss and happiness. You can already tell what kind of album this is gonna be. It's a man in between the legs of another man, and he's happy. What do you think it's gonna sound like? What do you think the context of the songs are gonna be? You can tell that it's an embrace of sexuality and just the happiness of being alive and being Troye Sivan. You immediately know that this is an album you want to listen to for the fun times and to vibe and just jump around and party. In Forest in the City by Umi, she is sitting in the middle of a city. It's a bit of like a fish eyeball lens. I don't know what that's called. Fish eye? Is that what you call it? It's a fish eye that makes the city so big, almost enveloping Umi, just like a tree would, hence Forest in the City. At first, I wasn't intrigued by this, but when I looked at the details, I was so intrigued as to why it was named this way, why she was posing the way she was. It's a good album. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a good album. In Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, the whole family is there. He is at the forefront with his child while his wife is at the corner of the bed and she's tending to the other child. There's one song in the album in particular that brings me back to this art, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's an intense one. It's one of my favorite records that Kendrick has ever done, and it's so intense. It made me feel like one of their children just wanting to hide in a different room and cower because mommy and daddy are up to no good, you know? Just listen to it. You'll see what I mean. In Silk Sonic's album, their faces are the cover. Not only do their faces remind me of the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, but the color scheme does too. In her album, her face is etched into wood, and theirs is almost like a stamp on leather. You just know that these albums are classics, and they will be for a very long time. In Mutt by Leon Thomas, it's a dog. It's a dog. What more do you want from the album? It already tells you exactly what you need to know, from the name, color scheme, the fact that it's a dog as the main subject, held on by a leash. What can I say about this album other than that?
I thought it was all over.
Now this one kind of goes hand in hand with the subject, but this time it's what is the subject doing? Why are they posing like that? Why is the camera angle the way that it was? In Alligator Bites Never Heal, Doechii is holding an alligator. Why? Why is she holding an alligator? And moreover, why is it an albino? Why is she off center and sitting the way that she is? It's almost regal, so you kind of think, oh, what is this record gonna be about? I initially did not know anything about Doechii. Well, not nothing, but I wasn't entirely or particularly interested in this album until I saw the cover. That cover really blew me away. The color, exquisite. The subject, exquisite. The pose? Why is there an alligator? I still don't know why she's holding an alligator. I mean, I do now, but that was what I was thinking of when I was listening to the album. Let's go back to Sabrina with Man's Best Friend. It's a controversial cover. Why is she in all fours? The man is holding her hair in a very reminiscent way. I don't know how else to put it, but it brings you back to those posters of the 1950s and you think, oh, well, Sabrina is always satire and sarcastic. How is she gonna spin this cover with her songs that she's putting out? It's playful, it's sarcastic, and the pose that she's doing, you just know that she's not actually bowing down to this man. Even then, you can't help but want to listen to the music that's behind this record. By the way, not my favorite album of Sabrina's, but I digress. In one of my favorite albums that I listened to last year, Preacher's Daughter by Ethel Cain. It's a blurry photo of a girl sitting underneath a picture of presumably really her father. It's eerie, it's unfocused, the color palette is weird. She's also, again, off center. It's blurry. It's almost like the picture was taken so hastily and probably in a very tense environment. And again, the songs confirm what you're thinking of when you're looking at this album cover. I just realized I'm not looking at the camera lens, I'm looking at the circle of my tripod like it's the camera lens. I'm so sorry. We're nearly done with this video. I'm not repeating any of the things I filmed. It's very hot in this room. I'm not doing it again. God damn it. I really gotta be a better YouTuber. In Beautiful Chaos, I don't know what's going on. Chaotic. All the cars are messed up. All the girls are sprawled on it. Very beautiful, I might add. So Beautiful Chaos. But my main gripe with this is, why is Yoonchae's car the only one that's upside down? Please, that must be so uncomfortable. And From Florida's Finest, the album is literally just Sailor anamorphing into a cockroach. If you're not interested in that album cover, I really can't help you. Do you not like fun? This is a very fun album, and I don't know what it is, but this album art really adds and lends to the songs as you're listening to them. You just can't help but think, yeah girl, that anamorph is deserved, and I will anamorph with you too. This is a trigger warning for the next one, but Who's the Clown? Very interesting cover. I hate clowns, but I was intrigued by this. The way that she's smiling is just really funny to me. Like, you know, when your mom tells you to pose next to your favorite character in the theme park, and you're like, this is great. But she's doing that now with the clown behind her, and it's just really funny. The clown is actually quite scary to look at, but you can tell that she's just having fun. And she's just like, oh, look at this clown in the window. Thank God I don't have windows here. Well, I do. They're just there. Now I'm scared. All this to say is that the art that goes in front of the album, the one meant to show the world we're about to step into, that gives context to the songs and the overall theme, can drastically change your listening experience, for the better or for the worst. And as an artist trying to figure out their journey, their style, their sound, all in this one 90-day project, it's been really fun analyzing what makes these album pieces so great in terms of visual arts that makes me want to add that into my album. I've written down a copious amount of notes on the things that I want to invoke in the album and how I can achieve that with color, subject, and action. Overall, it's just been really fun analyzing why these art pieces make me feel the way that I feel. I don't really have an outro. I kind of just wanted to make this video and talk about something that I'm really passionate about, something that I've come to enjoy while trying to apply them into my own album art pieces and theme world building type stuff that I've been doing for the album. If you stayed till the end, I appreciate it. You can follow along the journey by subscribing and checking out my other videos and my latest video, which is about how cringe I find myself making those said videos. If you like this content more than just me producing, I certainly do. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.